Hello there, friends, tarot aficionados, enthusiasts. I am going to go through this spin, so join on in, grab your favorite cup of whatever you fancy, and I'll see you right here. Hi there, welcome to part 5 of my tarot collection. So far, I have gone through 71 decks, and it's been a little while. It's now the end of February, and I've been doing a lot of traveling at the end of December and into January, and just with work and everything. So I have finally come on to move on along with the tarot collection I have amassed since starting this journey, and I hope you are going to have a great time going through this with me, and we'll just get right into it. Okay, I believe this is deck 72, Boadicea's Tarot of Earthly Delights. This is the mass market edition from Red Feather. I believe there's an independent version that came out before this one. I've had mine, so it was a birthday present in 2025. Mine, it almost looks like it's bowing just a tiny bit, which I'm a little disappointed about. I really like it, though I haven't had a chance to use it extensively. This is the box it comes in. It's one of those magnetic boxes. And I ordered mine on Amazon and it came damaged. Like, mine has a mouth. But I just didn't return it because I didn't want to deal with the hassle. And the cards were okay. So I ended up just keeping it. The suits have like different names, combustion, and I think tentacles, fungi. And there's like some extra cards. Boadicea, the queen. But it's really a beautiful deck. The cards are larger than a standard size. The ethers for, I think that's probably the swords, I believe. But I love the imagery. The borders have like a design on the edging and then a different color if you haven't noticed. It doesn't bother me. The suits, the major arcana, it's red. Roses, I think. I know I'm kind of just stating the obvious, right? But just in case, for, kind of just talking about the deck. But I really like it. It comes with a nice, really thick, extensive guidebook with lots of symbols and like songs and whatnot. I don't know where my guidebook is. Who knows where it's at. I've got it somewhere because I'd show that. So yeah, this is Boadicea's Tarot of Earthly Delights. Caroline Kenner is the author, with Paula, Millet, deck creator and artist, and it's by Red Feather Publishing. This is the mass market edition. As I mentioned, there's a independent as well. Here we have Unicorn's Journey Tarot by Lisa Papez. She has her own channel if you're not familiar in the tarot world with Lisa Papez. and it's illustrated by Francesca Paiocchi. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Apologies if I'm not. This was a Kickstarter. Here's the box. It's like a magnetic, and it kind of folds out. Kickstarter 2024, first edition. I'm not sure if you can still get this. I think you can, but don't quote me on it. And it came with a guidebook. I went ahead and got the mini version too. I'm not counting my minis though, or duplicates or backup copies. That's kind of just how I'm doing it. But here's the sides of the cards. It's really nice card stock, but I'm not surprised that it wouldn't be. Has the iridescent star there, and it's really cute. I'm glad I got it. I haven't worked with it very much. I'm just gonna be honest. But I love unicorns, and I know a lot of thought went into this deck. So I'm really glad to have a copy. I even got a children's book that was part of the Kickstarter that Lisa Papez did, and I have that. So it was really fun to participate in it. And there's a lot of walkthroughs on this deck, and even Lisa herself, she talks about the creation of the deck and just her whole process and everything. So it was really neat to learn about all of that. So yeah, Unicorn's Journey Tarot. All right, the DreamKeepers Tarot by Liz Huston. This is a US Games deck. Here's the guidebook that comes with it, and it comes in like a 2-piece box with the ribbon and everything. This is a newer deck for me, even though it's been around for a little bit. There's a reason why I bought the deck, and mostly it's one card that's the reason why. But I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna use it. A lot of people use this for like dream work. I have not. It's beautiful. There's another deck that I like to use for dreams though, and it's my Chocoli deck. This is the card that I just, for whatever odd reason, I was so drawn to it. And yeah, I ended up buying the whole deck. But now, I haven't used it, and I should, because I don't know if I'm going to bond with it now that I have it. I just really liked the artwork. I really liked this card too, with like the fish bones and the lady. For some odd reason, I was just drawn to this one, and that's what's on the cover of the box. So this is the DreamKeepers Tarot. The Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot deck. This is the Disney version. Very popular. It's one of the Insight Editions decks. You can find this one a lot of places. I mean, I think I've even seen it at Target and stuff. It comes with a guidebook, and I think the guidebook's color. I'm a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan, so I really like this one. I think I edged mine in purple. I don't believe it came like with colors. I think it was just, non-colored, and I edged mine myself. Just sometimes I get in a phase and I'll edge, some of my more favorite decks. But I really like this one. It's kind of got like that kind of silky-ish texture to it, but not quite rose petal. I have tended to use this one during like the holiday winter season, but just when it strikes my fancy, because sometimes it doesn't have to be that time of the year. The suits are different. The needles and the presents, potions, and candles are the suits. So if you're a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, or you like Tim Burton, this is a really fun one to have. And I think I'll always keep this one. It's one of my favorites and special to me. And some of the cards in here are just so fun. So, yeah. Nightmare Before Christmas. Animal Guides Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. This one, I believe, is a newer edition. These are the backs. I got this secondhand, and it was brand new. The nice thing about this is that it's got a message here, and I can just go ahead and take the message from here and use that like as what the message for me is during the day. And sometimes if I really don't want to dive deep, or maybe I just don't have the energy or what have you, I really like this deck for that. It wasn't even an intention for me to buy this deck. I just happened to be, I've talked about Pango books before, and there was a seller that had another deck. In fact, it was my Chicoli deck that was secondhand, and the seller had this one as well. And it looked good. It just looked like something I was interested in. And so I ended up just getting this one as well because it was such a good price. And then I got it in the mail, and it was like still it was still wrapped. Like it had never been opened. And I was just like, wow, oh my gosh, what a find. And, it was a decent price. So I really think this is a fun one. It's an animal deck. I personally love animal decks. That's just me personally. The borders, I'm sure, as you can notice, are different colors. And then I'll just show some. Okay, here's the air. And then the greens are the earth. Oh, that's so cute. So, yeah, this is a really, I like this deck. It's still in order, obviously. The Animal Guides Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. All right, here we have the Moon Witch Tarot. It's by the company Cosmic Valeria. I bought this on Etsy. And why did I get it? Because of the flowers. I loved the artwork and the design, and it's very feminine. The cards are larger. There's the edging that's really beautiful with like that gold foiling. And I bought this deck when I was kind of like, I go in spurts when I am collecting. And anyway, I won't go into it because I have all these decks to go through and there's just so much to talk about. But this one, I think, like I said, I liked the artwork, and it's very feminine, a feminine energy. These are all the swords. And it appealed to me at the time. And I haven't even really used it. But I appreciate the different body types. You know, there's some nudity, but I feel like it's done in good taste. So that, you know, I don't have a problem with that. The card stock is quite thick, you know, so it's not like an easier shuffle for me. Oh. I just thought it was really pretty. Let me just show the guidebook that it comes with. Here's the box that comes, the cards come in. Cosmic Valeria. This is the Rainbow Tarot by Sonia Lazo. Here's the box. So cute. This is the indie version. There's a mass market one now, which is just as cute because I've seen flip throughs of it. Really kind of lovely card stock. It's like almost a matte. Has like a texture to it. It's really colorful, obviously. I love the style of art. I just love the faces of the people in this deck and just the energy that it gives off. I have heard people compare this deck to the Queer Tarot. I don't have that one, but I have this one, so I'm happy that, you know, if that's like the energy that it kind of has, like really bright and colorful, it kind of fills that energy for my collection. But now that I think about it, there's a few that I've added that have this same bright, colorful energy. But going through my collection, I kind of notice that I do gravitate towards these bright, bold colors and like these sorts of art styles that are like really fun and almost like inner childlike. So that must be like a really strong part of like my inner soul. Or maybe an aspect of it. The Rainbow Tarot. This is called Yarn Tarot for crocheters, knitters, spinners, and weavers. So this would probably appeal to like a certain type of people, like a crafty person or someone that works with like yarn or something like that. Well, I definitely fit that category. This is the box it comes in. So it's got like, you know, this looks like a woven tapestry. There's crochet hooks right there. These are drop spindles, knitting needles. So it's like all of those types of things. And then this is like the outer part of the box. And it comes with this really cute little guidebook that's like hard. And this is kind of what it looks like inside the guidebook. I've had this one for quite a few years now. When I first got it, I used it. And I had so much fun. The color scheme is nice and like muted in a sense with these darker blues and the reds. I don't want to say if it's, or would I describe it as muted? It's not like this last deck, the rainbow deck, where it was like super bright. These colors are not in that palette. Is that a proper word to use for the color scheme used? But I like this one. And since I do knit and crochet and those kind of things, this one really appeals to me. Although I haven't used it in a couple of years. It hasn't called to me. Oh. And this one is a mass market, so if this is like something that one was interested in, it's pretty easy to get a hold of. I really like this world card. All the little yarn skeins and balls of yarn surrounding the lady. And the wands are crochet hooks. Just to kind of show real quick, because we're already 3 minutes in. Just kind of want to drop spindles for the cups. These are like the tapestries for pentacles. And then let's just quickly, did I mess up here? I might have messed up. I'm getting ahead of myself. And swords is the knitting needles. So it's really fun. The Yarn Tarot. This is called the Embroidered Forest Tarot. And the company is called the Embroidered Forest, actually, .com. There's a website. That's where I ordered this one from. How I found out about it is there's some really beautiful oracle decks by the same company, the Embroidered Graveyard, and that's kind of how I found out about this tarot deck. All of the cards, they're hand embroidered, and it was turned into a tarot deck. And that's like right up my alley, being the crafty gal that I am. I used this early spring. We're coming into that season now, like it's late winter right now. For me, this energy probably would appeal to me come here pretty soon. But I confess I haven't used it since that one time. It is a little more on the pippish side. Which I don't appreciate that aspect so much. Sometimes when they're pippish, I don't mind it so much. But for this particular deck, some of the cards are a little, they've lost kind of like that creativity for me. Perhaps if I work with it more, I won't mind it so much, but I'm just giving my honesty as I go through these because it's kind of good for me to just kind of review it. But some of them I really do appreciate, like this one. You know, it's the Three of Swords, and it's embroidered, all of this. So I mean, I know the amount of work that probably went into this is just substantial. But it's in my collection for now. And I mean, since I am a creator of art with embroidery and knitting and crocheting and a lot of other things, I really appreciate what this deck is. That's just the only thing that I kind of like, the pippishness of the suits. Like I just kind of was like, oh, it wasn't as exciting. I love the swans though. And then here, I know I'm already like almost 4 minutes in, but the wands are the foxes. And there's like sunflowers, which is really pretty. And then was there another suit? So we had the swans, the foxes, the bees for the swords. And I'm just kind of all over the place. I'm sorry. I seem very unorganized right now. And then the pentacles was the rabbits. but it's a really good quality deck. The Embroidered Forest Tarot, and it's on the embroideredforest.com website. This is the Delos Tarot. I bought this one on Tevada. Yeah. And this was a couple of years ago. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a Korean deck. Little white book. It comes in a tuck box. I loved the art, the type of people. They remind me of the Playmobil characters. For anyone who is familiar with Playmobils, you know, they've been around for a long time, but they kind of have like faces like Playmobils, and even like this horse has like the Playmobil vibes. They're very like tall and slender with like long legs, a lot of the characters, but like look at his face. But it's so cute. And this was one, I've had this deck for a while. And it's mostly because I just thought it was so darn cute, is why I got it. I haven't extensively worked with it. The cardstock is rather thin. I don't know if that's gonna hold up. And I don't have a backup of this copy. You know, so I'm probably not going to be like really rough housing with this one. And I'd probably mostly use this one for myself. Or maybe if someone kind of like wanted this kind of energy or the type of questions that they had, this deck might appeal to that. And I'm not sure if you could still get this one, so apologies if it's hard to get. But again, I got mine on Tevada, and that was a couple of years ago. But I just thought it was really kind of the cutest artwork. And this is the Delos Tarot. Here we have the Somnia Tarot. This is a pretty well-known independent deck by Nicolas, Bruno. I am going to first show this edition. I also bought the really extensive guidebook with this. I didn't get it this holiday 2025 season. It was the 2024 holiday season. He had a holiday season sale going on. It was on my wish list, and I caved in and I got it. Very, very beautiful deck. You know, when I was looking at the cards on the shop, I purchased these through the Etsy shop. The brightness of the image on the website was a lot more visible than my card deck here. I feel like it's a little darker. Like the images, they're darker than than I thought they would be. It's still a beautiful deck, but I noticed that. So this one is very popular. It has a very shadowy energy for me, very deep work. Oh, I love this one. Funny how I just pulled right to it. And again, I'm just being honest here. I've wanted this deck for a while. I haven't used it. It's because I haven't had the ability. This is like a dive deep deck for me. This is like a deck I'm going to use to kind of do some of that shadow work that I need to have a lot of energy to do. And it's one of those I should just jump on it and do it, but life gets in the way and I'm just not there yet. So I'm just going to keep rolling. And anyhow, I didn't think I was going to end up getting the illustrated version because I had the other version. Well, I just caved in and bought the illustrated version. And I'm so glad I did, because it is absolutely gorgeous. And I feel more of a bonding with this one right now than the my other Somnia copy. The whole energy is different. If you can believe it. I mean, who wouldn't? Gosh, sometimes I just can't talk, so apologies for that. But this is just me having fun and like talking to all you other wonderful tarot peeps. So you get me, and you kind of feel the same way I feel when it's like, wow, how could a deck that's like the same type of deck, but the colors were changed, or it's illustrated versus photograph, change the whole energy? And it does. Believe it or not, it does. And this one, out of the two, I didn't know that I was going to really, really like this one. Great quality, very insightful. I'm so happy that I finally have been able to add the Somnia tarots to my tarot library collection. Here is the mystery tarot. It's so cute. It looks like a little book. This is quarter press. Really fun decks from quarter press. There's, how did I find quarter press? The Tarot of the Unknown. So this one, sometimes I don't even know. Like, I think I like a deck and then I get it. Well, this one, I don't even know what to say, because I think I thought the theme was different. Anyway, I don't have a lot of time, but this is a show that I've been watching on the Disney Channel, but when I bought the deck, I had not watched the show. Return to Gravity Falls, and it's really, really fun. These two kids, Mabel and her brother, they go out to the forest to be with their uncle. And he has like this really kind of like odd, like curiosity shop. And they're in this town, and the town ends up being like kind of this mysterious, kind of unordinary town where there's like creatures and things like that. But they have all these adventures, and I haven't finished the season, but it's really enjoyable. So if you're into like this kind of thing, this might be something that would appeal to you. Again, like I love my Tarot of the Unknown deck, and so it kind of has that kind of vibe to it. And when I first got the deck, I looked through it and everything, and I kind of pulled a couple of cards just to kind of get the energy. And it's fun. It's gonna have its moment for me, but it's not one that I've been like drawn right now to use. But yeah, Mystery Tarot. This is Dame Darcy's Queen Alice Tarot. Here's the box. It's one of those two-piece boxes. Here's the guidebook real quick. I'm running out of daylight. And then you turn it in the other direction and it gives you the reversed meanings, which is kind of cool, huh? Here are the cards. I'm an Alice in Wonderland fan. I think there's like a ton of Alice in Wonderland tarot cards out there. I have this one, and I have the Disney one, and then I have those Beckett Griffin brat doll looking Alice cards. So I think my Alice section of my tarot library is probably complete now, at least currently. So here's like Dame Darcy's art style. I also have her cat's deck, which I think I may have shown. A lot of these are upside down, huh? But it's really fun. The colors, the artistry. It almost has like, and this is just my take on it, my interpretation is not law. I mean, it might be different to someone else who has the same deck, but it has like this like Rococo French vibe for me, / almost like Gabby Angus West tattoo art vibes. That's kind of like what I get from this, but I love the art. I like it. And so this one this one has been a fun one. Not to mention, I'm an Alice in Wonderland fan. So this kind of like fits that need for me. And if I haven't mentioned it, Dame Darcy has an Etsy shop. She also has a mermaid tarot too. Maybe someday I'll get it. I don't know. Going through all my decks, it's like, whoa, I have quite a collection. And maybe I should just use the ones I have first and bond with them and, kind of like develop my like rapport with what I've got before I Just keep adding. So that is Dame Darcy's Queen Alice Tarot. Here is the Aquarian Tarot deck. Oh, sorry, I dropped a box. The deck was created by David Palladini, and there's a book that comes with a copy I just bought through US Games called Psychic Tarot Book by Craig Jungulis. Jungulis. And it's, whoa, I mean, that's like really deep. I started reading this, it like goes into like this whole like deep like divination and like diving in, and the tarot is a tool to help you achieve that level of like your subconscious and the world of divination. And it was really interesting, and I started reading it, and I haven't been able to continue reading it because, life. I bought this deck for one card in particular. This would be considered a classic deck. There is an original of this one. I'm not sure if the backs are different in the original. When I first got this deck, I felt like I didn't care much for the backgrounds. There's like a lot of white space. And then like some of the forefront with the character is so rich. Like the reds and the leaves and the attire of this high priestess. And then like the backs are just so like pale. And I just kind of had a hard time with that. But as time has gone by, like I love these irises and the purples. This is the card that drew me in. He almost reminds me of like a rooster, like a male rooster. But this card was just so beautiful to me. And then like there's the font. Kind of like just indicative of the time period of these cards. It kind of has like the 1970s vibes. Kind of like the Morgan Greer. I want to show some of the other suits. So those are the rods. They're like flowers. And then the swords. The cups. They're almost like pastel tones, some of the cards. There I go, getting all messed up again. And then I already showed the pentacles. So yeah, the Aquarian Tarot is part of my collection. All right, this is called Winter Season Tarot. Sorry about that. It was a Kickstarter that I backed in, 2024. And it's by one of my favorite companies. It's Danielle Norman. I have her Viking deck and then the Walking Meditation deck. Here's the guidebook here. And this one appealed to me. I live in a very cold part of the United States. Upper Midwest, High Plains states. And so this is very I can't think of words. It's very relatable. Why couldn't I think of that word? To me. And so when I saw the Kickstarter campaign, it was something that I thought would be lovely to add to my collection, and I'm so glad that it was successful, and I was able to purchase a copy. And a lot of these scenes, I can just feel it. And in fact, we're in late February. There's still snow on the ground right now. It's starting to warm up right now, but we were in single digits at the beginning of the week, and last weekend it was like super windy. We had like some ice, and it's just, you don't even want to go outside when it's that cold. And so this deck was really something that I liked. And it's absolutely beautiful. The cardstock is just lovely. I'm like drawing a blank here. I can't remember if Danielle's company has a name, but she is on Etsy, and I know that you can buy the deck on her Etsy shop along with her other decks that she has. I was trying to find the name. Apologies for that. But what I really like about, one of the things I really like is that there's these little birds. Let me just see if I can find one. And they all have a little messenger bag. This is a blue jay for the Page of Swords. So each suit of the page is a little bird, and the little bird has a little messenger bag. And I really thought that was so neat. So I'm just spending so much time the more we move along with decks. So I'm just going to stop talking about this one. But it's the Winter Season Tarot by Danielle Norman. I think this is going to be the last deck I'm going to show for this part. Only because I'm running out of daylight. It's after 6 p.m. and I don't really have a good light to like continue on. But enough about that. But this is the Magical Nordic Tarot by Jane Nee Wallace. I believe this is a mass market, and I think you can still get this one. It came in like one of these kind of like unique boxes that has like the little like lid on top, you know. I suppose I could zoom out. I bought this one, I don't know which store. I didn't get it online. I found it at a local store. I really love the Major Arcana cards, but then when I took it home, I saw that it is quite pippish. But that's okay because there's a key word. And the keyword really kind of like was a game changer for me, because when I was doing readings, it kind of like really tied into like the other decks I'd use it with. Like for instance, the winter season tarot is a really good one to use with this one. A few of my other decks that kind of just have that same like Nordic energy. And also where I live, like I mentioned, the snow and whatnot. So this deck really, really appealed to me in that sense. And of course, the art is beautiful. And the pastel colors, and it just kind of reminds me of what my winter environment is like, where I live. So there's the swords, and again, it is Pippish. Did I put this one back in order? I think I did. I tend to put them back in order when I'm not using them, or I put them away for like the season. That's kind of like my little thing. I mean, not that you needed to know that, but the cups, and then is there? Oh yeah, and then here's the wands. Wow, I'm really running out of daylight. So, this is the Magical Nordic Tarot. All right, I think I have gone through 17 decks in this part 5. Thank you so much if you're still here. I think I now have 20 subscribers in this channel, and I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for just taking the time to join me in my little corner of the YouTube here in the world. It's so nice to just kind of like see the comments from the folks that have left one, and just really kind of getting to know a few folks. And there's a few other channels that I really like watching, and they've kind of followed me back, and it's almost just like a really nice tarot friendship that I'm starting to form with some of you. And I'm sending out such a heartfelt thank you, because I don't really have anyone else to share my passion for this with anyone else. I live in an area where this is not really something that many people are into, and so this is kind of how I'm able to share with others how passionate I feel about tarot and oracle, and like all of the things that kind of make me feel like special and more in tune with nature and my spiritual practice. I'm kind of going on a tangent there, but what I really want to say is just thank you so much for stopping by and just listening to me ramble and talk about the decks that you like too, and kind of how you've used them. And it's really been a great time, and I've still got more decks to show, and I just was like, whoa, how the heck did this happen? How did I get so many decks? Because I think I'm looking like at 85 decks right now. I cannot believe it. So thanks again. You take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'm back in town. I plan to record more coming up real soon here. So you take care again, and I will see you really soon. Until next time. Bye.